Here's the stuff that no one talks about around private money, because it is a double-edged sword. There's two sides to this coin, right? So flips can go upside down. You can flip a house and you owe your lender money at the end. There's no guarantee that says that no matter how much money I make on the flip, and if the flip doesn't go too well, you'll take a discount. Once you miss your lender, you'll take a haircut, right? Okay. Yeah. Flips can go upside down. You need to factor in just in case money. You need to factor in some contingency. You need to figure what you're going to do if a flip or a project doesn't quite produce the profit that you want it to, and if it maybe loses a little bit, what do you do? You can miss projections on an equity deal. You can tell an equity investor you're going to make them a 15% return, you might make them a 12% return, or you might make them a 0% return. What do you do? These are all questions you just need to ask yourself, and your lender is going to ask you this, right? They're going to come to you and say, hey, by the way, what if you don't hit the return? Or what if you can't pay me back when you sell the house? Investors, I got this going on right now. I got an investor that's in an equity, it's a freaking great equity deal, and they want their money back. So I put their freaking shares out for sale, you know, to find somebody else who wants to buy into this great deal. But this investor wants their money back because they have a personal matter going on, you know. So your deal is marginal. You did some like harebrained marginal speculative deal trying to catch lightning in a bottle that could make a big return, but it also could go under, and guess what? It went under. You know, well, don't do those kind of deals. You know, that's what you do. What's that?
For the third one, there was no contract or anything for the investors to take their money back. Like, aren't they?
It's in the yes. Most contracts for equity deals say that investors can ask for it back, and you don't have. You're not obligated to just write them a check. But here's the way it really goes down. Let's say like 10 of you folks all invest in an equity deal. Okay, you decide you want your money back. Okay. Or you decide you want to sell your shares. It's not you want your money back. Okay, this isn't a refund. This isn't like, oh hey, you know, right? This is I want to sell my shares. That's how it really goes down. And then he steps in and says, I'll buy your shares for X. And X can either be what you paid for the shares, it could be less than what you paid for the shares, it could be more than what you paid for the shares. Right now, we're looking at a buyback on another company. We're paying 10% above what they paid for the shares. You know, so sometimes it can be more. You know, and you broker that you negotiate not through the general partner, through the deal provider, kind of helps broker as part of your fiduciary responsibilities. Just help broker that sale. You don't take a commission. You just, you know, he would give us the money. We give it to you. You sign up a disposition to sell your shares, and off you go. And then the shares become his.
Does anybody take a loss for that? For you giving her 10%? Does anyone take a loss for it? Nobody takes a loss.
He's paying more for her shares because he's looking at it and saying, oh, okay, you know, company's producing 13%. You know, I like the way it looks. I like that there's some. I'm reading the tea leaves and I see some potential profitability for the deal for the building, the property to make more money. So I'm willing to pay a few extra bucks to get into the deal. You know, and most likely he's already in the deal and he likes the return he's getting and he wants to leverage up and buy more of our shares. So, okay. You get sued. Oh, that's possible. And most likely, if you get sued, your investors won't. You will. Okay? Because you're sitting at the tie. You're sitting at the front of the bus. You know.
Who sued you?
Huh?
Who sued you?
Somebody that slip and falls, a contractor, one of your investors, a tenant. You know.
Because your name's on everything.
Yeah. You're the front of you're the front of the train. You're the engineer. So most likely you'll be the one, and that can happen because people can get upset around the way these things go down, especially if you don't make the returns you're supposed to. They can, I'm going to talk to a lawyer and see what they have to say. So, all right, questions. Before I get to questions, a few different things. So this is my book, Raising Private Capital. You can get it at my website, derosagroup.com. It talks about everything I talked about today, okay? Everything I talked about, all those kinds of deals, all those kinds of everything are in that book. It's at biggerpockets.com or it's on my website, derosagroup.com, one of the two. So if you buy it, bring it here. I'll sign it for you, okay? Yeah, you know, if that means anything to you or not. I mean, it's stuff to pinch myself that I've, you know, freaking published author now, but hey, I put my heart and soul into it. I put everything I know about real estate. I'm touching on a few things tonight. But if you'd like, pick up a copy of it, and I hope you learn from it. If you did buy a copy of the book, go to Amazon. You can get it on Amazon too, but you're better off getting it because there's a bunch of free giveaways on. If you buy it from my website or from Bigger Pockets, it's like 20, 25 bucks. Again, you're not running the back of the room. There's no $6,000. There's no nothing. It's a $25 book. Okay. If you buy it from Bigger Pockets, you get an hour-and-a-half interview with my SEC attorney. I interviewed him for an hour and a half. And we talked about the nuts and bolts of how real estate works with the SEC, what you do, what you don't have to worry about. It comes with a workbook on doing your first couple private equity deals that you can go through. And it also comes with another book that I wrote on buying apartment buildings. So you get all that stuff if you go to my website or Bigger Pockets. If you've read the book, or read most of the book, and you review it on Amazon, and you email that review to info@derosagroup.com, write that email address down, because if you send a screenshot of your review, we'll give you an invite. Oh, it's not September the 12th anymore because that date's already passed. We're doing one a month. We're doing a free private money mastermind. It's like a Skype thing, like a video call. We do a private money mastermind with you guys, one-on-one. Where you at? It'd be a group of people, but like between 5 and 10 people on a group call. And just talk about people's business deals and different things, and just go through the nuts and bolts of transactions. Talk about what we're doing, the struggles we've had. Just more of a private session with us, just as a thank you for giving us a book review. All this is free. All you gotta do is buy the book, review it, and email it to that address, info@derosagroup.com, with a screenshot of your review. Okay, so.
When is the next semester?
It's October the 12th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much around the 12th of every month. So send it. If you can't make October the 12th, you can do it in November. All right. Questions? We got any YouTube questions? Questions from you guys?
How do you insulate yourself from getting sued? More insurance? Or?
Insurance. Not more insurance, just insurance, because most likely general liability insurance insurance covers like 99% of lawsuits, okay? And that's just because attorneys are lazy. Forgive me if there's any attorneys in the room, but because attorneys know there's plenty of money in that insurance policy they can get their hands on. And I mean, we've gotten letters from attorneys that just say, hey, forward this letter to your insurance company, so we can deal with them directly, because we know that they'll just cut us a check to make us go away, So insurance is 9 times out of 10 the best way to avoid it or to mitigate lawsuits if they show up. The other way is to be very clear with your investors and to have an operating agreement that's very clear with yourself, very clear too. Okay.
Do you always use licensed and insured contractors?
Yes. It's not worth the 20% you're going to save to go with a guy who's not licensed or insured.
Okay.
So.
The team that you referred to earlier, the NEDA team, if you were investing across the country, would you need that team everywhere you go, or you only have one, or you for each state that you want to invest in?
No, if you're investing in Albuquerque, New Mexico, okay, you need your property manager, your realtor, most likely your insurance broker there in town, your local legs on the ground, your team. I recommend if you guys are investing out of state, then you need, I just call it local boots, meaning like somebody who lives in or around the property. Almost every deal that I've done, I've got somebody I can call that lives around the corner from the property if something comes up. And we got stuff in North Carolina, soon to be Kentucky, Central Pennsylvania, Philly. We don't have any more. We sold it, but around here too. So we have local legs near all of our stuff. Then I'm happy to have that. I'm happy to give them a little bit of equity too in exchange for running and making sure that something, North Carolina was nice after that hurricane came through. Believe me, that was good to have somebody right there. Yeah, the hurricane went right through where our building is. So it's good to be able to have somebody who can call and say, hey, how'd we do? So anyway, next question.
Yeah, it seems like all your properties you're buying in the southeast. What's going on down there that attracted you?
Let's see, make a long list. Taxes, friendly government rule regulations. We called the local township in North Carolina and asked them about, like, hey, when we turn over a unit, we have to have you guys come in and do a certificate of occupancy inspection, right? They're like, We have no idea what you're talking about.
Never heard of a CO.
They never heard of a CO. There's no such thing in most other states. There is no such thing.
Which states?
What?
What states?
Most other states in the union, aside from New Jersey. Anyway, so not just that. Job growth. Okay. The Northeast is kind of built out already. They've been building here since 1776. But in other parts of the world that have been more rural up until now. Are building out, and there's just more land, But I mean, the concept in New Jersey of having like the next town over being right the next town over, like the next civilization being just 5 minutes away, and having 8 choices for supermarkets right outside your doorstep or something like that. That's not common elsewhere in the world. Elsewhere in the world, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of nothing in between things, and so people are starting to build on that nothing. And they're starting to put jobs and factories and things like that on that. And so there's room for expansion there. Around here, if Toyota wanted to build a 50,000 square foot auto plant in New Jersey, I'm not sure where they would put it, and whatnot. But if you want to put it in North Carolina, there's plenty of places to put it, or in Alabama or whatever, right? So job growth, cost of living is less. So that means the dollars a door is less to buy. I keep going, but that's why that's a short list on why the Southeast. So,
Have you ever thought about starting like a REIT?
so the syndication deals pretty much are REITs. So it's a privately traded REIT. It's not publicly traded, but to do a real REIT, like a REIT, you'd be. I mean, our typical raise right now, we're not that big. Our typical raise is a couple of $1 million. If we put together a big size REIT, we'd be raising at least like $100 million on the small side. And we don't have those. I don't have any desire to get into that sphere. And it's just better to do private raises and stuff like that. REITs also, as I understand, have to give away 97% of their profit. They have to pay out 97% of earnings. So.
Is it really that high?
Huh?
Is it really high? I thought it was only 80. I have some of these shares. I didn't realize it was I know they do it every quarter.
Yeah.
Right?
The way I think they play the game is they retain shares for themselves. So yes, they're paying out 90% to their shareholders, but some of that's them. I think. I don't know. I'm speculating.
I'm going to be a buy and hold investor. So how would raising the capital, how would they get their money back, such as like flips?
Huh?
It seems
Sure.
like it'll go.
I'm with you. You can do a BRRRR deal, meaning you can buy it, renovate it, rent it out, refinance it
Through the bank? Or
Yes.
Okay.
through a bank. So it's a private lender, comes in, loans you money.
Yes.
Okay? You take that money, you buy the property, you renovate it, get it all happy, put tenants in,
Yes.
and then you refi.
Okay.
And most likely around here, it's not that simple.
Okay.
The way you got to do it is, the problem around here is properties are so cheap that a bank is not going to want to talk to you at a $60,000 refinance. Now you can go buy a single family home right now in Trenton for she'll sell it to you right now for 30 grand. She's got a wholesale deal right now for 30 grand. She'll sell it to you today, right? And you'll put 10, 15 grand of reno into it, so you're into it for 45. No bank is going to lend you 60 grand,
Right.
or 45 grand. It's just not worth their time, right? So the way you got to play the game is you have to assemble a lot of deals, okay? You got to go and put together like 4 to 5 rental properties,
Okay.
okay? And then go get a blanket mortgage on all of them.
Okay.
That's the way to play the game. It's called portfolio loan,
Okay.
okay?
Yes.
Cool.